The big screen.
Speaking of big, just out of the blue, your
big?
money's going to shrink again. All our monies are going to shrink again because
Right.
Paramount Plus is out today.
Oh.
For the UK, United Kingdom of the Britain, of the England and
Which
the Irish and
the
Scottish.
trailer was decent.
It was, but it was just what Halo. Fuck Halo.
Halo, Miranda Cosgrove.
Yeah. But not all in the same project.
It was So Paramount. Hello everyone, welcome to No Bubble Podcast episode. I want to say 205. Yeah, 205 because we got like the anniversary one coming.
205 live.
205 live, 555 live. With me, George, him, Connor, and you, the audience. I was catching up on while you get into Paramount Plus. I was catching up on what's their name?
Their name.
Like Weekly Planet, yeah.
Oh, Weekly Planet. Oh, Mr. Sunday Movies.
So because I binged
catch
Big
up.
Damn Cast because they finished their weekly one. So then they're doing a new monthly one that starts, I think, July. So they're making it a more general thing, and then like their other stuff will be on Patreon because obviously they're looking to expand because they're ahead of us in numbers because obviously they're on other things.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, that's kind of because they're like saying, oh, you know, the format changes, especially on the YouTube landscape of like, you know, just one big thing less often than instead of thingies. But here we are, while everyone fucks off monthly, this is what we do. And then, so because I caught up on them, then I was on the Weekly Planet one, which was them talking about everything to look forward to in 2022.
Oh,
and all
hey
the
guys, in case you haven't known where you've been, well, this is what's coming out of this year.
Yeah, or the Batman. I'm looking forward to the Batman and Kenobi. That was literally... And there was audio ads for the Batman coming March 4th. It's like, that's out on Blu-ray and 4K, and I need to pick that up. I need to pick up Moon, because they talk about Moonfall for ages, and I'm like, I still need to see that.
It's a fun watch.
I need Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
The unbearable weight of a massive film contender. For
possibly,
top 5 maybe?
possibly.
For
A
me.
film. I saw a new film, which we will be talking about. Is it the good one that's Top Gun? No.
Oh. So there's a 50-50 bet on what it is then, right? And it's not a Disney Plus digital. Did you go to the cinema?
What other one would it be?
Jurassic Turd of Dominion or To Infinity and Disappointment?
Oh, Joe, I have not seen Light Years Away.
Years Away, that's still...
I've not seen Captain America in Space.
No.
But I will at some point, either on Disney Plus or...
It'll be on there before you know it. Literally, I can guarantee
there's kids in my life, so I have to take them to see things.
5 or 6 episodes, it'll be on Disney Plus.
The thing is, it's a film that I don't know if my niece would sit through it, because she's 3. Like, she likes sitting through stuff, but it's, you know, stuff she knows she likes.
Yeah. You haven't just... I'm not... This isn't advice or pressure. You haven't introduced them to Toy Story.
She loves Toy Story. So, like, you know, as it works with any child, basically you put something on that's bright and colourful, and then by osmosis
100%.
you find the stuff that relates to that.
Yeah.
So like I put on Toy Story, and then she became obsessed with it, and then would like only watch the first one over and over again, and then like is at a point now where like you ask her what one she wants to watch, and then she tells you. She really likes number 2, and I'm like, fair play. Yeah. But she'll watch any one of them. But obviously, you know, it's, you know, bright colours and toys and stuff like that. And she loves the animal ones because she likes animals.
Mm-hmm.
So from that, like you go, so you get. So she likes like Moana and that because of the sea. So animal ones, and then through that we got to Tarzan, which is one that she is obsessed with. Like less so now. Like when she finds a new one, she'll kind of like rinse that dry. But then we'll always have one she goes back to. And Tarzan's now one of those. It's like every so often now it's like
all-time favourites.
She'll watch Tarzan because Moana she hasn't watched Moana. Turning Red she really liked.
I still haven't
Luca,
watched.
fucking honestly,
That's
loved it.
Loved it.
Went off it a bit because she kept talking about monsters, so it was like, let's calm that down.
Yeah, scary.
And now she's like back on it and like loves it. But it's one of those. It's like if she sees the tile on Disney Plus, she'll ask for it.
Yeah.
She's like, can I watch Luca? And it's like, oh, okay. Wreck-It Ralph. They're 2 at the moment, back to back.
Oh, okay, good.
So normally if we watch one, we're watching both of them, which isn't a bad thing. But I've watched a lot of Wreck-It Ralph.
I watched Finding Nemo for the first time in God knows how long.
Loves that because obviously animals,
I also
fish.
started Finding Dory. I didn't finish it because backstage personal pain, nothing to do with this, but yeah, just
literally
drama
backstage pain.
Drama sort of just come out of nowhere. But essentially, I started Finding
Is it your
Dory.
first time watching Finding Dory?
Yeah, it was.
How are you finding it so far?
It's more or less the same at the minute.
It's more of a metaphorical finding.
Yeah, it is, not literally.
Than where is Nemo?
Yeah, but
I like it. I think
a double bill. It's a good double bill to do.
I think, you know, in terms, like, everyone will say, because we now have a lot of Pixar films. We used to, you know,
26.
It used to be one every. Is it 26?
No, at the minute,
so it's more
26.
than Bond now as well.
More than.
But James Bond, because No Time to Die is 25.
Yeah. Jeez, didn't know that.
So that and the MCU has blown past that in like the last year, and this is now past it. Because it was a point where it was like every couple of, because you had 95, 98, 99, 2001, 2003.
Yeah, 03.
That was every couple of years, and then we're at a point now where like 2 are coming out a year.
Exactly, yeah.
Because we had Onward and Soul.
Into it's both 2020. Soul was December.
And then you had Luca. Was Luca
last year. That was last year.
Is that just one?
Yeah, Luca.
Or was Turning Red was at the end of the year?
No, Turning Red was this year.
Turning Red was this year.
I think it was March, something like February, March.
So we've got Turning Red and Lightyear. Fuck, that's a lot of shit.
That's
a lot of shit. Just like on Paramount Plus.
Which we're still trying to find content for.
So the SpongeBob stuff's on there, I believe.
Oh, yeah, good.
I think. Because I think I saw somewhere that like all the series of that were on there.
Star Trek Strange New World. This is just a random list.
That's the Anson Mount.
Oh
no, I thought that was the Anson Mount prequel one.
It's
with
both a sequel and prequel to Star Trek. I'm guessing the 09 one because it's just bracket Star Trek. It doesn't say what one.
All of Star Trek is Star Trek.
It takes place 6 months after the Enterprise has seemingly had another refit in space stock, and 7 years before we meet Kirk and Spock.
That disk space said 9 hours left, and it's just gone up to 11 hours.
Oh,
wow!
Good. The more you know. Good. Well done, disk space. Keep going up.
Sorry, carry on.
7 years before we meet Kirk and Spock in 2020.
Is this
2265?
Is it the Christopher Pike prequel series with Anson Mount?
Doesn't say. I could.
Because that's one of them. That's a thing. But anyway, so what else you got on there? Grease.
Grease. Yeah, Grease. I'm guessing
both of them.
I'm guessing both. Halo, which is the one that was advertised in the trailer, and it's.
That was the main one in the trailer. That even though it doesn't really get a glory shot in the trailer, it's just like Halo.
Oh, Master
Moving
Chief.
on.
Yeah.
Here's Jack Whitehall driving a
random
cart.
Yeah. Talented
Miranda Cosgrove.
Talented Mr. Ripley is a Matt Damon film from the 90s.
The Mission Impossible films.
Fallout, yeah, true.
So all of them will go on there, I assume.
The list also includes, but it's not limited to, the following: Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Top Gun Maverick, Scream, oh yeah, Ghostface is in the trailer, Mean Girls, Chinatown, 1883.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Castaway.
Already? Sonic the Hedgehog 2?
Yeah. So Netflix is becoming obsolete.
Well, yeah.
Apart from its original content, it's going to be obsolete. And I think it will still go under within the next 10 years. But hey ho, that's what happens when you're the first streaming service. Is you make all the mistakes, and the other ones go, do that, but not that bit.
Exactly, yeah. No thank you.
No thank you. Here's a question for you.
Right, okay, yes.
Do you reckon, a clause, because it's still in the title cards for the first phase of the MCU movies, is still Paramount? Like Paramount distributed Iron Man 1, 2...
Universal did Incredible Hulk, didn't they?
Universal did Incredible Hulk. Thor, but Paramount distributed them all in the first phase, apart from Hulk.
Right.
Pre-Avengers, because because 2012 was around the time that Disney bought it.
Yeah. You're right.
So then, but they still put
yeah.
Paramount at the front of it, and then from phase 2 onwards, it was just Marvel Studios.
Yeah, 2008 to 11 was Paramount Pictures distributed, and then Universal for Incredible Hulk, and then Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures was 2012 Avengers. Yeah, you're right. So from phase
I know
2
my
onwards,
shit.
It's all Disney.
So because Paramount is still, the logo's still at the beginning of all of them.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Is it gonna go on there?
Mm.
And another thing, because Paramount is at the front of the classic Indiana Joneses. No, all of the Indiana Joneses, because they have the Paramount Mountain as part of the distribution. So is there the thing with all these streaming services, do you have to own it outright, or is there some weird grey area where you can kind of crossover? Have both? Because Disney owned Lucasfilm, but Paramount distributed Indiana Jones. There's your question. Especially, imagine if they were distributing Indiana Jones 5.
Yeah, right.
But they had no right to put it on anywhere, even though they're obviously,
still involved in
not putting the money into it, but they're the ones getting it out there for worldwide release.
And they would like some credit and contribution and thinking business.
I doubt anyone's distributing anything like that's Disney owned.
Right. At least not on purpose.
It's all going to be Disney owned. like how it's just the MCU that are credited in like the Marvel Studios logo at the precursor to any MCU film. How it will just be the Lucasfilm or the weird Star Wars intro thing for any Star Wars thing / like the Lucasfilm for indie, and some weird James Cameron shit for Avatar.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to Avatar. I
don't care.
I gotta tell you, don't care.
Don't care.
Don't care.
Not interested.
Okay. Hey, I'm Mark Wahlberg. I grew a moustache.
I'm an
I grew a
Avatar.
mustache. I'm an avatar. I think we just found ourselves an avatar.
I am an Avatar.
So I think it's like SpongeBob. There's other shit that I've seen. I've seen loads of stuff advertised for coming to Paramount Plus, but I can't for the life of me remember.
No.
But I think it's going to be one of them distribution things like with early Disney Plus over here, where it's like we've kind of got to get the rights to everything to
first before you can put it on.
Crossover.
I'm trying to find an actual list, but it just says the best shows heading. It's like I don't want the best ones. I just want a good list.
Does it give you a list for the American one?
Well, I'll just do that. Why not? US.
What is on? Is there
US
any? Just
content.
Google. Is there anything on Paramount Plus?
Is there anything?
Like, can I watch
This.
anything on
I don't want to sign in. I just Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Clifford the Big Red Fat?
Yellow Jackets. That's the one that was in the trailer. That Yellow Jackets, whoever that is.
Oh, the Darren Cross thing.
I think. Sign in. I don't want to sign in. I just want to look at your shit, and then I'll decide whether I want to sign in. Stuff it. Go away.
Hang on one sec.
30,000 episodes. And movies from BET, CBS, Comedy Central, MTV, Nickelodeon, Nick Jr., Paramount Pictures and Smithsonian Channel, plus exclusive originals, live sports, breaking news, kids and family programming, your local CBS station with premium plan only, and so much more.
And so much more! JML!
What can I watch on Paramount Plus?
So you can watch 2 Top Gun movies, Castaway.
With a Paramount Plus subscription, you can choose between 580 plus movies, bear in mind this is America, and more than 450 TV shows.
No. This is America.
Fuck yeah.
This is America.
Sponge on the Run, Green Book.
You can put Sponge on the Run's on there, but that's a Netflix film.
Oh, so that must be internationally distributed then. That must be an international deal.
See, that's what what is the fucking jurisdiction with these streaming services? How does it work for HBO Max? Where's the confusion?
Where is the confusion?
Where is the love?
We're reading it wrong. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Quentin Tarantino's Jackie Brown, which is a random one. Alfred Hitchcock's To Catch a Thief. That's weird.
Random
stuff, yeah, literally.
What we're saying is Paramount Plus. It's got great stuff, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. Nothing's concrete yet.
Just like Disney.
Oh,
they have great stuff.
They do. They do.
If you're wondering why we are not talking about Kenobi, because both of us kind of just haven't had time to watch it today.
Yeah.
Connor, because he's had an accident at work that wasn't his fault, and he's entitled to compensation. And
yeah.
I was my first day back
Some
to
drama.
work in 5 weeks. So
your first
my first day back to work today.
Yeah. Oh fuck. How'd that feel?
That's why we're doing it later.
I gathered. Yeah, but how did it feel?
I was alright waking up because I'm just used to waking up in the night anyway now.
Yeah.
So I woke up about 4:30, 4:45, laid in for a little bit, and he'd already the baby, I should say when I refer to he, had been fed and changed and stuff before I went. So as I was leaving, said to her, do you need me to put a bottle on or do anything before I go? And she was like, no. And I just left.
No.
So I'm on early today, early tomorrow, late for 2 days over the weekend, which is a shitter, but I've had 5 weeks off, so I kind of expected a bit of shit rotors, and that's the world that we live in.
Shit's better hit the wind, yeah.
Shit's gonna hit the wind, but I'm only back for 2 full weeks, and then I'm off.
It's not bad.
So, the week that... So basically, there's the weekend, I think it's the 9th? Yeah, the weekend of the 9th. Somewhere in there where we go away, but obviously I'm got 2 days off in that as well, so I only work for 3 days in that week, and then I'm off for the rest of it. So hopefully I'll work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the week off. That'd be nice. But we will be pre-recording the anniversary episode, which is coming up, because that's only 3 weeks away from today. So it's scary. So I need to get on with Andy on about that and organise something. I know, I say it all the time, but we get to a point where like we get organised in that, and then everything just falls apart because like
Things change.
I haven't really
yeah.
posted much on like the Facebook and Instagram stuff. I want to kind of hit that in the next like month or so. I know you're starting something very important in your life,
Yeah, just some key
which
change.
we will obviously talk
Yeah.
about once the it has occurred.
Yeah.
But it at least
Yeah.
gives you if we pre-record it for that week, then it means like you can just focus on that for that first week, and then we can sort out the logistics next week.
The terms and conditions,
The
yeah.
terms and conditions.
The
apply.
streaming services. No.
And yeah, so it's.
I was just gonna say,
I
like,
feel like we go up, we stagnate, and we go up a bit, but like we kind of just bobbled around a bit for about 6 to 8 months, but like
yeah,
literally.
yeah. It's just not again to no
We're-
fault of ourselves.
We're both sort of like sorting our lives out. I think I've
But,
got like
yeah.
one more step before I'm nearly there, and I can probably afford more things. You will put yourself in a better position soon. Like,
Absolutely.
that's, you know,
Yeah. I've only
it's
currently
it's
I've only,
coming.
like you talking about time off. I've only got till the end of next week, and then things hopefully will be onwards and upwards for me.
Yeah, you get to see Thor Ragnarok. You're off
I
for
know.
that week of Thor Ragnarok. You
I know.
bastard!
Yeah, but that's the
Not
week.
Ragnarok. Love and Thunder.
Yeah, but that's the week you're. Wait, so are you around for 4? You should be around for 4.
I
Right?
should hopefully, if
Yeah,
it's
you
out
should
on a
be.
Wednesday or something.
I think it's July the 8th on a Thursday. I looked on the app, I haven't sorted any of that out yet.
I could hopefully see it before I go.
Yeah.
Because we'll get onto like Dominion in a bit, but like so I saw it twice.
Oh, good God.
So I saw it because
Was it
it
a double bill?
it was so me and like it was our first like time away from the child.
The chat. The baby.
So originally what we were gonna do is like sort of like have like a mini date night thing and like do that, have like something to eat, but because like we're kind of baby
being-
steps
yeah,
to
you're
pardon the
being-
pun. So
You're being conscious, yeah.
she literally was like, I just kind of want to go watch it and then come back. And
Yeah,
I was like, that's
fair
like
enough.
fine, whatever
Yeah.
you feel comfortable doing.
Yeah.
We were originally going to go up to Stevenage do 40x, but because like her stitching and that was still not like healed completely at the time, be like, that's the last thing we need, because I don't know if there's a safety manual for that. But so I saw it normally with her. I just went to this normal one at Harlow, so then we weren't too far away. And then on the Saturday, she
Just
had
gone.
a baby shower to go to, so it left me with like what I thought was only going to be a couple of 3 hours, but she was gone most of the day. So
Yeah, you needed to
I
change
literally rang up Connor and was like, you want to see originally it was like, should we go see Top Gun in 40x, but they'd stopped it like the weekend before.
Yeah, I think after I left you last week, it was available that night, and then I think it
Gone, yeah.
discontinued.
So we watched. That was fun. Because we both came out of it going, that was good. I don't know if you saw it in 40x.
I
like-
did manage to, yes.
We said like that was good in 40x, but I imagine Top Gun was better.
Oh, well, Jurassic World in 4D. Oh, it probably would have been a better time.
I had a better time with it the second time, but we'll get on to that.
Yeah. Oh,
A
cool.
bit later
So you've seen it
on.
more than once. I personally just don't want to go back because that's just my thoughts on the movie. Quickly.
I have it in a ranking place, but that's because I've seen less than you, so that's why it appears higher in the list, because it's a
But how would
it's
you
a
rank
short
it
list.
out of the Jurassic movies? Where
Out
would you
of-
put it?
Do you want it out of all of them or the world ones?
Let's go World for now. Out of those 3,
Oh.
the modern Jurassic movies.
So out of the modern Jurassic movies, I would probably say, for me, it's still... Well, because I think it's as I predicted, so it's, for me, Fallen Kingdom, Dominion, World.
Really?
Yes.
Really? I thought you didn't like Fallen Kingdom.
No, I loved Fallen Kingdom. I loved
Oh.
I loved that it at least does something different with the overall franchise. Here's how it would, like, real world people would legitimately
Be like,
buy
"Oh,
and
I've got
sell and like
dinosaurs,
try and
wow."
use it as breeding and like as a
Mm.
riches game, and then it's a nice sort of like hunt in a house instead of it's an abandoned park, because the first 4 movies you can kind of lump into the same, effectively
the
all of
same
them you
movie,
can kind
yeah.
of. I
Yeah.
think Fallen Kingdom is the least like any of the others, because
Right, and I think that's where
it's
the
not
hate
just
came in.
because
Mm.
and Dominion is guilty of this, as we will say late, like when we get into it, like it's still guilty of the park element,
Aspects. Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
does have it.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, there is a Jurassic Park in
There is
Jurassic
a
World.
Jurassic World, not a fact. Can we just agree that before we get
World,
onto it,
not a
like
fact.
Jeff Goldblum, fucking amazing,
Yeah.
and Sam Neill for 74, very
Mm.
convincing.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'll give him props.
Yeah.
I'll give him props.
And that's all we'll say on that for now. So, season 22 of Doctor Who,
The
the collection,
Collection.
finally came out. It's our longest gap.
Monday? Yeah.
What was it? 7 months?
Gee, 7 months, really?
I feel like
It felt like a while.
I feel like maybe, I don't know, like February or December was.
Doctor the Collection. I mean, that's
24 was the last one, wasn't it? Previously,
Yes.
it was 24, and then before that it was 17, and before that it was something else.
something else.
Eight.
They're not in order. Yeah, they're not in order.
Got
Home video releases.
if you can get the release timeline up, I think I kind of know it. I think it's 12. It's 12, 19, 18, because we got all of Adric in 2 hits.
Oh, right, hang on. Yeah, this is the collection. Yeah, okay. So
Oh, have you got it in order?
Season order, but I'm looking at the
Alright,
UK
so what have we
release
got?
dates for us. 2021, 2020, 21, 2022. So, okay, how many
So it was
21s?
24, yeah. So 24 was 21. Is there another 21 on there?
There's like 3 or 4 21s. 8th of March.
Oh, so then it would
December.
be season 8?
Where's season 8?
Is it season 8? Look, season 8's 8th of March.
8th of March, but 20th of December. So season 17 in December.
Season 17 was December, yeah, because it got delayed from September.
A month, yeah.
Just like
okay.
how this one got delayed from
So essentially, last year we had 8
March.
in March.
March was meant to be 22, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Originally,
That's
and they
meant to-
always get pushed back.
Well, because they always got, because that's the only reason, like I say all the time, like the only reason I got season 12 was because it got delayed. Because I went to go on, it was like sold out, and then it got delayed a month, and then I managed to get one. But my season 22 arrived busted at the bottom, so I have to send that back.
Damaged.
Which is annoying
Wrong-uns.
because the last. So what are the last 3? So 22, 17,
December, yeah, where are we?
and
December 21,
24.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the last 3 I've ordered from Amazon have come damaged.
Fuck.
So 17 has the completely loose disc tray, like as in, but thankfully it's not ripped the thing off. But the last time I ordered 24, it ripped some of the backing off with the glue dots. So I don't know if that's a production thing, which is what made me go, should I sell these and then get the because the standard ones are still all available? Like,
Right,
do I
okay.
do that?
Mm.
Because then at least I know that the Blu-ray cases aren't going to break.
True.
Whereas the disc trays, like I had to go back press them all, but 17's now the only one that's loose. Like it won't go back on, so I have to carefully peel off those glue dots and get new ones, or super glue the whole thing
Not
to
to
it.
moan about Amazon packaging, but when it comes to like standard cases, or you say you get a
Moan all
complete
you want,
series-
they're shit.
Say you get a complete series box set, but it's in like a thicker standard Blu-ray disc or Amaray if you're talking American, but like a typical Blu-ray case that's slightly thicker, and it's one of those disc trays that you got the spine in the mid, the binder in the middle. They always come ripped. They always come off, like the thing that sort of holds the discs. Yeah, they go into the thing. They always the top corner always pops up.
Welcome
so it
to
can't
No
click.
Bible Podcast, where we talk about
But when
Amazon
it comes to
packaging.
fancy box sets, I've been lucky. Touch wood.
I've been lucky with all of them in the fact that 1, I've managed to get hold of them, which I'm
Yeah,
always thankful
yeah.
for, and 2, they've not been too damaged. Let me just. I don't think any of them are physically.
Damaged.
Let me just check.
Well, gotta love some water in this lovely, lovely summer heat, because I think
They're all fine. It's literally just 17 that's loose.
what a bastard. In case you didn't know, people, yesterday was the longest day of the year, so it means that
Summer solstice. We should have gone to
Summer's
Stonehenge
today.
to unlock the Underhenge and open the Pandorica. But yeah, so it's been annoying because the last 3 that are, they're the limited edition packaging, so they're they're even more expensive than they were originally. Because I know that you look at it and say like, they're 40 quid now, aren't they?
40 odd quid, yeah.
So it was 45, but then for some reason, like it was like you
They
saved so and so on this.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
the cheapest. Because if you pre-order it, you get it the cheap. You're guaranteed to get it as cheap as it goes.
I think
So it normally starts
I
about
say
45 and then goes down.
£3. I think I say £3 on this one. Out of the blue.
Yeah, because I missed the window to return my 24, so I bought another 24, which was for 30 quid,
Okay.
and then sent the other one back, and then got it. So it was like nothing had ever happened.
Yeah.
But
okay.
it's just annoying because like with that much money, it's like a bit of care, and
Exactly.
people
you
who
think a
bought,
bit of care, yeah.
and it's like, do I switch provider because people who pre-ordered with HMV got it Sunday?
Oh, did they?
Because I know
HMV. I'm not moaning about HMV or comparing retailers, but HMV have kind of been not funny with me. Amazon 9 times out of 10, I get everything from there, and they're always fine.
they're the go-to, and
Yeah, they are.
but I
For
think
me,
that
they
they've
are.
come lax because everyone uses them. But like stuff like HMV, like I think, do I go in? Do I have the right? Because
Yeah, do I have that?
if I can maybe find a copy of a season 17 that's not loose, maybe I'd
Just
buy
swap
it and swap it and do all that shiz. But I hate doing that kind of shit, but you know, I can't sit there. I can't afford to waste.
But the
40
OCD
quid.
in you knowing that all your sets, and then you've got the one that's just going to sit there and be like, "Hi George, I'm broken, but you ain't going to do nothing about it, see?" You want to be like, "No, shut your mouth. You will be neat like all my other. You will be fine like all the rest."
You
the
will.
OCD and the collectors in us will be like, "No, you will be rectified."
Oh, definitely. But it's not when you're spending like that much and it's
Yeah, of
coming
course.
broken. So it's like, do I give up, sell them, and get all the slightly cheaper standard ones and recoup some money? I don't know.
Annoying discussion about money.
We're in discussion about fucking OCD and shite. Just like, how's this gonna work?
Oh, Doctor Who and the Daleks is out as well. I think we literally mentioned the movie.
Do you know what we missed?
What did
BFI event.
we- Oh,
Back to back for both of them.
Oh.
Doctor Who and the Daleks and Dalek Invasion of Earth 2050 AD with two of the stars of it and one of the ADs, the assistant directors.
Oh.
And
Was it
person who
Sunday
was
just gone?
the weekend just gone, yeah.
Bollocks. Oh. God damn it. That would be a cool one to go to.
And Josh Carr of the Who Knew podcast was there and then recorded an episode with the director.
Oh. God damn it.
Literally.
God damn it.
We could have seen YouTube royalty, but I literally didn't even. It's one of the things I'm on it and check it, or I don't.
Forget about it.
I just forget about it. Just like I've forgotten that. You've said about Paramount Plus. Just like I'd forgotten that The Flash.
No, The Flash.
It's having trouble. Ezra Miller's on the run. He's
Say the least. There.
as Warner Bros. Put it, they're not working with him after this one. So Flashpoint's a bit of a fucking wasted time, right?
It will be. Yeah. It will be, unless there's a post-credit scene where we see the Flash regenerate into another actor.
Change, my dear. Colin Baker as the Flash, but Colin Baker now as the Flash.
Oh yeah.
Don't CGI him down or get him in shape.
Curator Flash, curator.
Yeah.
The curator Flash.
I could be the great curator, Perry. You don't
Come on,
even
Alice.
like. Wouldn't
Who needs the TARDIS?
wouldn't you have felt like better about Doctor Who
If
if
the Flash was in it.
if the first scene of The Woman Who Fell to Earth was, you don't even know what an alien is, do you, Perry? And then like she just strangles Yaz. Like, would you not just love the episode a bit more?
God, I can't. It hurts to laugh, but yeah. God damn it.
But so Grant Morrison was originally one of the original writers for the Flash movie.
Yeah, right.
Has discussed this scrap DCU screenplay. It didn't do the job that they were looking for. It wasn't where they wanted to go with multiverse and stuff, and that was the end of it. And people have been like, how do you reject a script from Grant Morrison for a Flash film?
Exactly. It's stupid. Grant Morrison, one of the all-time comic legends. I think he did a lot of Green Lantern work, and he made it what it was with Green Lantern.
Yes.
His name stuck out as a Green Lantern guy, and he saved it, from what I understand.
And so, like, for a fact that they just were like, no, we got to do the multiverse, see?
Oh, but also, speaking of subscriptions, I just literally, because of DC, you know, we got Marvel Unlimited to read all our Marvel comics and all our goodness on our phone.
Yes.
Because we don't
Yes.
have the room for the shelves. DC have got their service. DC Unlimited, or DC...
DC Unlimited
Yes.
has been for a while.
It has, and then it's kind of been floating around about when's the UK getting it and shit, and then eventually it came out maybe 2 episodes back. I just forgot to mention it. Till
So,
now.
because it finally came out because it had all the DCU shows and that on there.
Exactly.
But a lot of that's being folded into HBO
HBO
Max,
which
which led to people believing that they're just going to scrap the DC Universe app. But
they saved it and made it their comic subscription app. I know you got Comixology, but that's not. You literally have to buy the comics you want to read.
that's
But no, basically,
I don't know.
Marvel have got their app now. DC have finally got their app. So Batman Long Halloween, Dark Knight Returns, anything DC, the opportunity's there on your phone. People, you can read it. If you don't have the space to store every single comic and issue.
Or just think of it really hard and it will come to you. Just like Spider-Man Lotus.
Well, yeah. One day.
I didn't know what that was.
It's the fan film, isn't it?
It's racist, is what it is.
Oh, is it?
Full of racists. The director, the guy who plays Peter Parker, the guy who plays Green Goblin.
The director is the guy who plays Peter Parker.
No, like those
No.
3 people have been
right.
seen to be like racist. So I don't get it. and I don't
Right.
want to see it.
Oh, okay.
So bye-bye.
Shame. Oh,
Yeah.
God damn it.
But shall we do the? I've mainly just got Disney stuff anyway. So the good news. So Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness is out today on Disney Plus,
Woo!
straight for just normal access. But last Friday we got the Spider-Mans, but not all of them.
Yeah, not all of
because
them.
we had Spider-Man 1, 2, Amazing 1 and 2 because they're the only ones that exist, and Spider-Man: Homecoming, and like we said to start of the deal, so we expect Far From Home, No Way Home, Spider-Man 3, Venom 1, Venom 2,
Yeah,
Morbius, It's Morbin Time,
Yeah. Into the Morbinverse.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and in the future Across and Beyond to be there as well as Kraven the Animal Lover movie.
I literally was going to say Kraven the Animal Lover. That's.
But did you see
that right?
the now in the MCU in timeline order has Spider-Man: Homecoming before Doctor Strange.
Did they just change that recently?
So that was as soon as it went on.
Oh right, so Homecoming is before
So
Doctor Strange.
Yes. So you talk about
Huh.
the Kraven the Animal movie, and I'll show you the timeline.
I'll try and read about it. Yeah.
So Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Johnson from Mr. Bullet Train and Quicksilver.
I can't wait for. But the
The
more
real
I see,
Quicksilver.
the more I see Bullet Train, the more I am fucking
It's
excited
only
for
like
Bullet
it's maybe
Train.
6 or 7 episodes away. It's
That's too
very,
far away.
Very short.
I want it now. God damn it!
Kraven the Hunter Animal Lover movie.
Well, you sent it to me on Instagram, didn't you? The article.
No, that's how I. Spider-Man fans in heated debate over Kraven the Hunter being described as animal lover in new Sony film. New interviews surrounding the Sony movies, people questioning if the big game hunter is an outright bad guy or if he's an anti-hero. Well, spoiler alert, in case you haven't seen the Sonyverse so far, they titled the name of the movie after said villain character because it's for a general big worldwide audience. They can't have the villain of the movie actually be a villain, can't they? The moral of the story is they're always gonna, the good beats evil, so they're gonna make the villains, these heartless people in the comic books, likable. They've got to make them.
Yes.
And that's wrong.
No,
Kraven is an animal lover. He hunts people. He hunts. Animals.
He hunts.
It's wrong.
He
He's
hunts.
literally called Kraven Hunter, the animal lover and protector of the natural world. Natural world. What?
Summed up best by Christopher Johnson, former CBC presenter and host of one of the hosts of Big Damn Cast. New quote: "I can't wait for the inevitable crossover with all the Spider-Man's greatest villains without a Spider-Man in it. They're all anti-heroes now, and it just pisses him off.
So they're not even Sinister Six. They're like the Protector Six.
They're like they're
Hateful Six.
What are we? Some kind of Sinister Squad?
Sinister Squad.
Do you want the MCU in timeline order now?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So this is in full.
Kraven's wrong.
But remember, they haven't written down the note here that you have to stop Captain America before he wakes up. Like Captain America: The First Avenger. Realistically, you should play that 5 minutes before you start Avengers. If we're going to be in detail here, Marvel, that's how you do it. Write down the pause times.
Okay.
You put half of put a little bit of the tile over there. So we got Captain America: First Avenger, Agent Carter. So they've put all the one shots back in.
Yeah.
Agent Carter, Captain Marvel, Iron Man 2. Funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer. Thor, the Consultant, Avengers, Item 47, Thor: The Dark World before Iron Man 3, which that's the first I've heard of that.
At the same time.
Yeah, they're the same. Normally, if they happen in the same year, they're a couple of weeks to months apart. Normally,
yeah. I mean, I'm bothered.
but we finally caught up. We've finally almost caught up to the future timeline of the MCU now, because where they jumped 5 years and then we didn't have anything out, so we're like 2020. So technically, in the MCU, we're about 2024, maybe 2025.
Yeah, right. In terms of release,
But
we'll
we'll probably catch up anyway soon. All Hail the King, Winter Soldier, Guardians 1 and 2. We know that they're 6. We've always known that they're 6 months apart.
Yeah, they're always 6 months.
Even though the whole cast ages 3 years, but let's get past it.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Civil War, Black Widow,
Yeah, right.
Black Panther,
Yeah.
Spider-Man: Homecoming,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, Ragnarok,
which I get because Doctor Strange going into 4, but yeah, that's fine.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Avengers: Infinity War, Avengers: Endgame. So from here on in,
Yeah, from Endgame
did you know that
onwards.
this was it? Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Loki.
Well, hang on. WandaVision is 3 weeks after, because Wanda says herself.
Wanda leaves the funeral and goes to get Vision.
Get
so
the
it's literally
body.
like the
3 weeks.
yeah.
But
Some of it takes place days, doesn't it? Yeah. But I think it's because that some of that happens concurrently with that altered time. So that should be down there. There should be a line.
Exactly.
Alternate universe for these two.
Exactly.
So you got Loki, What If,
okay,
WandaVision,
right.
Falcon and Winter Soldier,
That's right. Yeah.
Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Eternals,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
Before. Because No Way Home's not on there.
So No Way Home would be.
He would be in that.
No Way Home would be between Eternals and that.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Hawkeye, but we know that because the end of No Way Home is him swinging past the build, so it's just before. It's either just before or just after the whole fight at the Rockefeller Center with the Christmas tree in Hawkeye.
Oh, okay. Right,
but that also means that Hawkeye, Moon Knight, and Miss Marvel all happen post Doctor Strange.
So is that a retro explanation as to why Doctor Strange was kind of the way it was, and then post? Oh no, it was before Doctor Strange.
Even though it came out chronologically, like in terms of release, after Hawkeye and Moon Knight.
And what, Miss Marvel was the furthest point at the time
so
of recording.
Maybe the reason he didn't see the whole starry spinny sky was because he was in 838 universe. Maybe, I don't
know. Maybe he's in space with
Fury. Or
maybe
he went with Clea to fight the incursion.
Exactly. Yeah, so he's off-world, off-reality, off-universe like Loki.
There you go. Solved it.
Yeah, solved it. There you go, people.
Where does the Defenders fit in? Fuck knows.
Fuck knows. Secret Wars, and they're the secret weapon to winning the war.
But you know what annoys me? They haven't put the Spider-Man films in the Marvel Legacy section.
So what are they under? Just Sonyverse?
So they got Spider-Verse.
Oh, come on.
So Spider-Verse is Spider-Man 1 with the Amazing Spider-Man font for some reason.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Civil War, Homecoming, Infinity War, Endgame, animated series of various quality and variety. So Legacy, you got Deadpool 1, 2. You've finally, like we said, the last film to go on there for the X-Men was First Class, so you've got Logan, X1, 2, 3, Fantastic Four, Rise of Silver Surfer. The only one missing
not Fantastic Four.
Is Fantastic Four 2005.
It's non-existent.
But you know what else isn't included in the Legacy section? Daredevil 2003. We know that's on there.
We know it's on there, yeah.
But it's not in the... Sort out your fucking shit, Marvel, and at least put these in fucking release order.
I know, that's such a weird list.
I would not
watching it in that order.
Deadpool 2, Logan, then
so Wolverine dies, and then watch
Wolverine dies, and then Hugh Jackman's young and less buff. And what? What?
And then the Fantastic Four are somehow involved, and then that don't matter. Weird.
I don't know.
Continuity people.
I don't care. Legion's there, but what? What?
Is Legion even canon?
Legion is canon
with the X-Men stuff,
sort of, because it's meant to be an alternate universe, like an alternate timeline, similar to how Logan is Far Future, but has been pushed of. This is an alternate ending,
Elseworld kind of.
Yeah, this is
thing,
kind of that ending for Days of Future Past. This is what could have happened, but might not necessarily have definitely happened.
Okay.
I don't care. But so Miss Marvel's premiere was watched by. Has the lowest viewing figures.
Yeah, I know. Shocking.
But let's put it into perspective. Viewing figures don't mean as much as they used to.
No, not necessarily.
Because the way we consume television is different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we said before,
I never watch anything on time.
Our prime example, Doctor Who, used to be on iPlayer for a week. So it's like, I've got to watch it this week. That's why the figures for it would be better. But when it's on there for a month, a year,
it's not a rush.
Don't rush. Because then it's like you're using it like a streaming service. You watch it as and when. So Loki still remains the highest so far, with 2. So this is for premiere episodes in the first 5 days.
Right, first 5. It's not even a full week, but okay.
It might be the 7-day figure, but I don't know about I don't know, because it feels like some of these could be 7-day figures, because they've only listed that for 5. So like Miss Marvel could be closer to what's down there. So you got 2.5 mil for Loki. Which is, considering it was the third series, that's great. 1.8 for Moon Knight.
I'm surprised it did more than WandaVision. But are they both tied?
But maybe it's Oscar Isaac. No, not tied. It's above it. But it's tied with Falcon and Winter Soldier at 1.8. It's just above.
Yeah, okay.
1.6 for WandaVision. Maybe because people didn't know what WandaVision was.
And
Yeah,
it's word of
WandaVision
mouth,
went up
yeah.
as it went on. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier probably stagnated and maybe went down.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Because it would have been like, oh my god, we can actually see the new Captain America. And then it was like,
where is he?
and so WandaVision went up at 1.6. And same as I think Hawkeye probably went up at 1.5. I think by the end of that and the inclusion of Wilson Fisk and the fact that that happened the same time that Matt Murdock was back as Daredevil maybe had something to do with it.
Yeah, exactly, maybe. Sped it up.
Hawkeye 1.5, and then so far Miss Marvel at 775,000.
Bearing in mind that show hasn't ended, we're only 3 episodes in as of today.
And I don't know if that's like you said, says it's a 5-day figure. You know, we shall see.
Goddamn Miss Marvel.
Like Kevin Feige has said and alluded to, we will learn what the next saga is. Because he said as Phase 4 comes to an end, he said there's clues that he's definitely...
But where's it ending?
Obviously he knows anyway, but there's clues that he is like... He can see that show where the saga's going. I still think it's Kang in terms of the overarching, but we're going to have like the Defenders Thunderbolts thing kind
Secret
of...
Invasion, which can't just be that series.
Secret Invasion I think is going to be a through line in say like Phase 5, that's going to be the main prominence, and then...
Yeah, right.
Not come to a culmination, but be less intrinsically linked to the overall thing with Kang, because I think Kang's going to start being seen. Hopefully, I don't know, but we will find out as Phase 4 draws to a close. Which is weird to say that Phase 4 is drawing to a close. Like last year, it started. Or no, so beginning of last year, it started
was about a year ago
with WandaVision, and it was obviously meant to start 2020 and run for 2 years.
So we would have been there at the end of Phase 4
8 to 12, 2008 to 12 for Phase 1, and then 13 to 15. So it's normally like the 2-3 year period it can be. So but we've had a lot more content in that time, and that's I think why it's like a lot's happening, not a lot of time. If hopefully we can, like, this isn't a like bad thing, but if we can like sort of maybe get to a point where we're spacing it out again and just have like 2 films a year maybe, and like 3-4 series max a year. Like that's what I would like, just so that we don't, because I don't want to get to the point where I want to not watch stuff or save to watch it later.
Oh no, of course not. No, we're too loyal to the Marvel brand.
Oh, definitely,
we're too loyal.
As we just go off the Marvel brand, but it's technically linked to it. Season 2 of Peacemaker, James Gunn will start tackling that once he has finished up completely with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So Season 2 is coming. He's still going to be involved in it. And I can't wait to actually sit down and watch that in full.
So maybe they'll do a bloody different intro. That's got a Blu-ray date as well. I think it's out
in
September.
Has it got a 4K date?
No.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
It's shit. It will be on 4K and HBO Max. I guarantee that.
Definitely. I'm not buying HBO Max. I don't care. I don't care. Just like I don't care about James Corden, because there's a petition to block James Corden to come back to the UK.
Yeah.
But did you see? So when the World Cup groups were announced, like America and England are in the same group stage for the World Cup.
Oh right. Oh.
So I think someone tweeted, it was like loser of England versus America has to keep James Corden.
God.
Now that would maybe make us play to win. Kristen Ritter is reportedly in talks with Marvel Studios to have a continuation of Jessica Jones.
Yeah, good, about time. Yeah.
Good. We want that. And Mike Coulter, Finn Jones, and John Bernthal next, please, because you've got
all of them. Like
we've said, if the majority of them seem to be being talked about to return, you can't really leave 1 or 2 out.
No, it'd just be a bit awkward. It'd just be very awkward.
And what about you, not Finn Jones, Iron Fist?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it sounds like a zombie. I want to be the Iron Fist.
The Baron of the Iron Fist.
The Baron.
The Baron. The Baron Fist.
The Baron Fist. Electronic Mail. Ironheart is now filming.
Right, good, yeah. But we know Dominique Thorne, Riri Williams is in Black
Riri
Panther
Williams
2.
is in Black Panther 2, yes,
Yeah.
Wakanda, because it's been probably stopped again for COVID, or fucking Letitia Wright being fucking...
Something.
Just write her out. Just
Yeah,
write...
Letitia, write her out.
If she's gonna use her platform to promote something that's generally bad for the health of your fucking audience, maybe don't give her the platform to do that. I don't know. That's just me. Disney. And Chris Evans would love to return as the Human Torch in the MCU, and it said that would be easier to sell him than returning as
Captain
Cap.
America.
Because he was asked about, I think in the build up to in the press for Lightyear was asked, like, would you like ever return as Cap, like we'd like love to see. Like the main thing they mentioned was like you putting back the Infinity Stones would be like a nice little mini series or something. It's like, yeah, it kind of would have to be the perfect thing.
Pitch, the perfect
Like
screenplay.
it would have to be the best thing that I could do for that character at the time, because he said like obviously playing him for 10+ years, like he's got a lot of love and respect and admiration for that character, and he's kind of done everything that he had to do with it. But if the right thing came along with the right people behind it, that then he wouldn't necessarily say no if it was still, if it didn't take away from everything he'd done before.
Exactly.
And Human Torch would be better for him in terms of
shock value and oh my god,
I think if he'd have cameoed in Multiverse of Madness,
he would have been cool.
That would have been cool.
Mm.
Because then it'd have been like, oh, it's Cap. Oh no, it's not, because then it would have been Cap technically and Peggy in the same room.
Oh, no, that would have been weird. That would have been a cool moment.
But yeah, I'd even if it was just to like pass through the universe, like pass through the Tim Story universe.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're going to call it. The Tim Story Fantastic Four universe.
The Tim Story.
Not
universe.
the Josh Trank universe.
Oh,
That's a
fuck
bad
that.
place.
Yeah, no
Don't
thanks.
go there.
No.
And
Unless you retcon that universe, so that's how Miles Teller got the training to become fucking Goose in Maverick. All that.
that's
training.
how he met Tom Cruise
Yeah.
being Superior
Yeah,
Iron Man. Do you reckon that ever actually happened? Because either they were good fakes, or maybe they did them on purpose to throw people there, like get out there, see that Tom Cruise is in the movie, and then when they come in, they'll be fucking livid because
They'll
there's
be
an
trolled.
empty chair. Who the fuck sat in it?
Yeah.
Are the deleted scenes going to be on the Disney Plus release of Doctor Strange? We don't know
Well,
yet.
we can check. Yeah, we could check.
This is one I think that you would like. So there was an article that someone posted on Twitter that was Bruce Campbell approached by Disney to portray Hades in a live-action Hercules remake directed by Guy Ritchie.
Good.
Which is, there's a Hercules.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie. Yeah.
There's a Disney Hercules movie happening anyway, but Hercules is,
Not. Well,
he's public property.
I
Like in
believe
terms
he
of
is.
the general, because Greek mythology and stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Bruce Campbell was
yeah.
like, not sure where this interweb rumor began, but I back it.
I'd take a bloody. Only the trailer is on Disney Plus at the minute for Doctor Strange.
What?
Yes, I've
Are
literally.
you taking the
clicked
piss? It's fucking.
extras is literally just the trailer.
Oh, I thought you meant like the film wasn't on there. And it was
I
literally.
know it is now streaming.
Is it in IMAX?
Yeah, now streaming in IMAX and half. Thank goodness.
Thank good.
So that'll be a
Thank
bonus.
good. Hopefully the whole thing isn't. It doesn't keep
But
changing
extras?
fucking aspect. Because I
Bloody
watched
trailer.
Doctor
Yeah.
Strange in
What I know, IMAX.
IMAX, and it was changing the aspect ratio so much I felt like I was watching a Chris Nolan film.
Oh.
Ah,
Oh no!
fuck you, Tenet.
No, we don't need. That's the thing with Marvel films. We don't need to watch them in IMAX now because we know we're going to get them at home in a cheeky way.
Disney are reportedly very impressed by the script for Wes Ball's Planet of the Apes film. They're looking for a new lead actor for the new film trilogy. Will it be a reboot? I think it will be a loose continuation of the
Caesarverse.
Rise, Dawn,
Caesarverse.
War universe.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to completely start again, because I don't
No.
think there's... Because Matt Reeves and... who did the first... Was it Matthew Vaughn did the first one?
Yeah, Matthew Vaughn.
Matthew Vaughn and Matt Reeves sort of reinvigorated the love for the franchise, obviously along with Andy Serkis and co, and the amazing work done by his motion capture studio. But like, I don't think audiences are clamouring for a Planet of the Apes reboot.
I'm not personally necessarily.
If it was a continuation and you were just getting different directors on and like doing sort of like a new trilogy every time, and then you got like 9 films out of it.
Yeah, why not?
Like you had like the Rise Dawn War trilogy. You had this new one. You had another one. And then it all leads to fucking a CGI Charlton Heston and Jeff Goldblum fighting dinosaurs. Wait, no, that's a different film.
That's a different film. Yeah.
But I'm up for seeing it as long as it's a cinema release, not just a Disney Plus release.
Apes versus dinosaur in a movie. That would be something I want to watch.
Have you
We've had
heard?
Godzilla and Kong?
Yes.
but
Have
Apes
you
and
have you heard of this one? Right.
dinosaurs, we'll find out.
So there's apparently a Disney Plus show in the works for Star Wars.
Okay, Star Wars got me intrigued.
Because apparently Cameron Monaghan is rumoured to have signed
Oh,
on to play Cal
yeah.
Kestis in his own live action
I
series.
literally read it on the way here, but I didn't read the article. I saw the headline. I thought, yeah, it'd be cool, but we need confirmation. But yeah, it'd be good.
Because I still need to finish Fallen Order.
I need to replay the game. I need to replay it.
But I'm up for that because I like because he's an actor anyway, and then portrayed him well in the game. So like, why that would be the natural thing of if you wanted him in live action, because he's done live action appearances as Cal at like the Disney theme parks and stuff, hasn't he?
Yeah. So he's
why,
a fan.
why
yeah.
would you not utilize that
to your advantage. Yeah.
You know, an actor plus actor.
And make sure, and gaming is important. It sends that message as well.
It links it because obviously we had the prison bit in Kenobi was the same as Fallen Order.
Episode 4, the underwater base, which I totally didn't clock until I found out afterwards that it's set on that planet.
I know,
it's
slightly
like,
less visually impressive, but it's a fucking video game.
Oh,
Video
no.
games are always visually impressive because that's how storytelling works when you want to be interested to play. So,
Yeah.
That
was cool, though. I
I
didn't
think
know
that
that.
would be good, like because everything's canon until it's not. So
Yeah.
the fact that we're gonna probably get
It's
Hayden,
in the time
Hayden
frame as
Christensen
well. It's in that
interact with
time
Ahsoka in some way in
Absolutely.
live action.
We have to. Yeah, we have to.
Because you've always had that thing of, well, it's animation, but then seeing Ahsoka in live action, you've been like, oh, this is. It meant. Clone Wars meant something.
Exactly. And it's not like films and TV are not your only medium as well. Just, games and animation matters, people. But yeah, Cal Kestis at some point in the Star Wars universe, yes, and maybe in that show you then confirm Mace Windu is fucking out there as well.
Maybe.
That'd be a
Have him
crazy
in the
return.
game, because Sam Jackson's been talking about how like he's not doing movies to chase statues.
he's
Like
not an
Django
Oscar.
Unchained was his best chance at winning an Oscar, because like they usually
I'd probably
give
agree.
it up for that kind of movies, but
Yeah, I'd probably
hasn't. So he said he has much more fun playing Nick Fury, or if he gets the chance to have a lightsaber in his hand as Mace Windu again, you have to only be one hand because he lost the right one.
Oh. Yeah, but when they eventually write it,
I think he'll come.
continuity is left.
I think he'll come back in at least like one thing, if like
Yeah.
not as a cameo, like
A full surprise.
I'm surprised he was never in like Rebels,
Yeah.
just briefly.
Something animated. Yeah, I feel like animated would have been easier to do, and then you would have done. I'm back, motherfucker. I somehow survived falling
Yeah.
50 feet.
Well, because we never saw him die.
We didn't.
We saw him get electrocuted, but we've seen Darth Vader and Luke get electrocuted.
We saw Emperor Palpatine blow up with his fucking ship.
Unlimited.
somehow he
Somehow
returned.
Palpatine returned.
So Mace Windu can return. It's
Exactly.
possible. It's possible.
Ewan McGregor remains eager to tell more Obi-Wan stories.
And I'd agree.
I hope it's not the last time I play him. I had such a
Yeah.
great time doing this. I'm sure we can think of a few more stories before I turn to Alec Guinness, don't you think? Bless. Can we just bless Ewan McGregor and his beautiful face and his amazing fucking personality, and hopefully if we can get a fucking hotel near fucking Star Wars Expo fucking
Expo next year, yeah. Yeah, we can meet them. Heck, the same hotel. They're on the floor above us. They're on the same
just
floor.
break
as us.
in, kick down the door. with
Hello
lights on.
there.
Hello there. There's not the security guards you're looking for.
This is not the Jedi.
Star Wars Celebration, that's what it's called. But if we can like ever see him in the, I want to see Ewan McGregor in the flesh before I die.
in person. It'd be
Yeah.
a cool honour.
Oh, and him and Hayden Christensen. Can we? I know
Romance.
that we're probably next week going to talk about Kenobi in full, but can we just appreciate the fucking flashbacks in Episode 5?
I know. I would say the best episode. I think it was
Yes.
the best episode.
Yeah,
it was
because
nice.
I texted you. I was like, two things. One, the flashbacks. Oh my god. Two, that episode of Miss Marvel was great, which it was.
It was, yeah.
We'll probably do a Kenobi roundup and like a half midway point series of
Yeah, our current
Miss
thoughts on
Marvel roundup.
Yeah. Yeah.
But oh god, I loved like that was why you had Hayden Christensen in it. You didn't just need him in the Darth Vader suit, but
Exactly.
having him in the Vader suit, like you feel it more, like his presence, like the way he holds himself when he's conducting himself.
But this is badass.
But it
Vader
linked
in his
into the
prime.
fact, like him holding down that ship, but it was a decoy, and then it cuts back to the flashback of like, that's always been your problem. You're too focused on winning, and it's like, old Obi-Wan Kenobi schooled you, bitch.
But they're saying that flashback is before Attack of the Clones, but then I've read it's afterwards.
No, it's before because of his
Because of
lightsaber.
his hand. And his hand as well.
Oh yeah, and his hand. He has both hands. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So obviously they look older in the CGI.
I mean, yes,
Hayden Christensen is sadly not 22 anymore, which I think
He was 22 when he did those films, was he?
Or he was like really early 20s when he
Jesus.
because
Yeah.
they filmed. How old is Hayden Christensen now? You Google
Let's
that.
figure that out. Let's do this. Let's figure it out. I'm
Because
sure he's
from
40 something.
because I know now the filming of
He-
Attack of the Clones, and it might surprise you from a recent interview with Tamara Morrison and who played.
He's 41. Now he's 41.
So he was 19 when because 2000
2000, yeah.
they filmed Attack of the Clones because Boba Fett, young Boba Fett, who I don't remember who played him, and Tamara Morrison talk about how he, like their incredible bond and stuff like that. I think it was from Celebration. It's like because we filmed that in 2000, and it's like
there was a
that's
line.
mad.
Daniel, is it Daniel Wu or is that just another Daniel?
I don't know.
Daniel Day-Lewis. It's not him.
It's definitely not Daniel Day-Lewis. But
there was a to cut off your thing about Expo interviews and stuff. There was a scene with Ewan and Boba Fett Jr. I'll call him Boba Fett Jr.
yeah,
Daniel Logan. That's it.
yeah.
They were on the panel, and essentially, when we first meet, he had to
Oh yeah,
use the
pretend I've done a big
expression,
fart.
He had to come across a
Done
bit
the worst
scared.
fart. He's such a lovely man.
Oh,
Ewan
but
McGregor.
did you do it as improv? Don't think so. Or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, that was
Good
cool.
improv acting.
And yes, they filmed that, which I found strange that they filmed because it must have just been a Lord of the Rings size production in terms of so they must have filmed Phantom Menace in 97, 98.
Okay.
And then because I remember Samuel L. Jackson talking about he done this stuff for because he just went to George Lucas just put me in a stormtrooper helmet, I'll just run across the screen, I just want to be in a Star Wars movie. And he's like, no, it made him a Jedi, as he's I had some scenes with Yoda. And then he's and then he says in an interview, it's with Graham Norton, it's a couple of years old, and he goes, and then I came back the next year, which would have obviously been 2000, they didn't kill me off. And then he's and then he gets the purple, that's how he got his purple lightsaber. The chat of I want to find myself in the battle scene, just there I am, there's 400 lightsabers, there I am.
That's me. That's me.
Lightsabers are green, lightsabers are blue, I want a purple one. And he's it's already caused a shitstorm online. He's yeah! And so, watch that, because Samuel L. Jackson is just such a fucking charismatic man. And
Filming The Phantom Menace began June 26th, 1997, and ended on September 30th that year. So it was 1997. Bearing the film was 99.
Yeah, so it must have just been because the amount of green screen, the amount of visual effects shot you're rendering in the late 90s, early 2000s, it must have just been that. So that means that Revenge of the Sith was probably filmed in 2003, so it's been about 20 years since Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen worked together.
Let's find out.
Of
the Sith.
But obviously, they look slightly older in them flashbacks because as much
as budgeting as well,
and also you've made young Leia and Luke obviously in Shadow in Rise of Skywalker and other things, and Leia in that and Grand Moff Tarkin. There's only so much you can go with it, especially in terms of out in the fucking daylight, because obviously it's green screen, but it's lit like it's in the day. So Ewan McGregor kind of just looks like he does now,
just with a bit of wig and longer hair.
No, I think that's the Kenobi hair he's got now, but they've just not styled it like the mullet, which is probably what's throwing people. And obviously some of the facial wrinkles on Hayden Christensen, but suspend your disbelief, and also the cute little note that when you see him and he's looking out over the balcony, he's looking at Padme's apartment.
Yeah, which I thought was cool.
And like you said, he's got both his hands, and the lightsaber he's got is the Attack of the Clones one, which is the before he gets his Force Awakens New Hope, before he builds that one, because that one gets cut in half on Geonosis.
During the fight?
It's the one, I've got it.
You've got it? Oh, the actual prop? You went to Lucasfilm and got it?
Yes, sold it.
Sold it. And still bullshitty Doctor Who copies. No, that's just bad luck. I can't say that. It's fine. Cut it out, George. It's fine. Cut it out.
So this is from Toys R Us in 2002. So it's that one.
Okay.
Oh shit.
And that fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because he's always had, his lightsabers have always had that bit, because the Vader one has it, but has this bit that's black.
Okay.
Whereas then the proper, Luke, I am your father one is like that, and then you've got the thing, the red button, and then the hilt bit that goes more up like that, isn't it?
Oh right, okay.
So it's it's weird. It's that was, he was at the midpoint, and then his completely all out good one is like that, but then his dark Force one is just that but black, kind of thing, because then it hangs like that.
Let's see, the more you know.
Yeah, man.
But the only thing I haven't examined is the lightsabers themselves. You're too busy looking at the colour of the blade. You don't actually look at the blade itself.
And I don't know if Obi-Wan's is
the same.
I don't know. I think Obi-Wan's might be a training lightsaber, because I know his one, he loses his one when he gets imprisoned or whatever on Geonosis, because then Anakin ends up with just a standard green one, and he ends up with just a standard blue one. But his one evolves, because there's a Black Series of his Episode 1 lightsaber, which I didn't know, which actually looks quite cool, because it's a completely different handle, and that is the one obviously that Darth kicks down the thing. And then he builds a new one that's in between that and his Episode 3 Kenobi lightsaber, which is the proper Alec Guinness, extendy, slidey, narrow but wide gold in that one. That's a lightsaber chat. Let's talk about Jurassic World Dominion.
The first scene of Revenge of the Sith was filmed during Attack of the Clones. But it was the last. Although the first scene film was the final scene to appear in the film. So the first bit they filmed for Revenge of the Sith was the last shot of it, but filmed during Attack of the Clones. That in itself is confusing.
Is that why he's got his hood up? So I'm assuming we're talking about
It just doesn't specify. It just
Owen and Baru receiving Luke. Because that's the
Yeah,
last
right.
shot of the film.
Yeah, the final scene.
So maybe it was that
But
because
shot
he's got
during Attack of the
he's got
Clones.
his hood up.
Hmm.
Why is that? You know, we're kind of on a tight schedule. We've got another fucking 3 years before the film comes out, George. Yeah, we got a lot of visual effects.
But eventual principal photography was June the 30th, 2003 to September 17th. So yeah, Revenge of the Sith was 2003, like you said.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it has been like 20 years.
Fuck me. They looked great. It was so fun to watch that. We will talk about Kenobi in depth next week.
Next week, yeah.
What we were talking about
Full
in
force.
depth now for like at least the last half hour is Jurassic World. I don't know if we've done an episode on all the Jurassic films. We might have to do a mini YouTube video where we rank them all.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
Did you? So, spoilers ahead for Jurassic World Dominion. It's been out a week at this point. By the time you listen to this,
Yeah,
it'll be nearly 2 weeks, right?
Sure, because it's always Friday. They tend to come out over here, so yeah.
Something like that. Because you saw it off the bat, I think, and
It was
then
that
again,
weekend, it was opening
and then
weekend,
I
yeah.
managed to
Yeah.
see it last Tuesday. No, last Thursday and then last Saturday. And by that point, it'd been out nearly a week. So yeah, it'll be 2 weeks by the time you hear this. So if you've seen it, you've seen it. If not,
And good
hard
luck.
fucking lines, mate. Let's going into it. You talked briefly about your previous relationship with the Jurassic World series.
To quote the film, Jurassic World, not a fan. Like, I don't know.
So you so you previously
Dunno.
said like it's Jurassic World for you is not a series that like holds nostalgia. It's not one that you
I
were
didn't
clung to as a child,
Yeah,
like
didn't
grew up on it kind of
no,
thing.
Didn't grow up on it at all.
So did you rewatch the previous 5?
See, I only did Jurassic Park 1 and then most of number 2. I just didn't have no energy, no desire.
You
no
didn't even do number
dinosaur
3.
Urge to do the rest of them, no.
Did you enjoy Lost World?
It's fun, but I totally get why the reception is where it's at. But it's a fun premise.
My advice to you
Mm.
is play Lego Jurassic World and then watch them, and then you're like, oh, this is fun, and then like you get all the enjoyment you're ever going to get out of the Jurassic franchise, and then you leave
After the
it. Then you
game.
leave it alone to gather dust and die. Play the
Right.
game, complete it, be bored of it by then, watch the films and be like, this is a jolly old time. It's a fun blockbuster thing that obviously they make a Lego game out of because it makes no fucking
It
sense.
makes no sense.
And
no.
ultimately, it doesn't matter because dinosaurs aren't
But
alive.
do they talk in Jurassic World? I can't remember. They do talk, don't they? Or is this in the
It's
era
the
of silent?
it's the era. It's the Lord of the Ring. It's post Lord of the Rings era of the movie sound bites
Oh, that's right.
as the dialogue, but repurposed for obviously more cartoony cutscenes because, like, no one ever dies in a Lego game,
Yeah, spoiler alert, yeah.
even though they die in the film. But they're kind of alluded to, like even like Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter, Goblet of Fire adaptation, like comes back in pieces, but like he gets given a thing by Dumbledore, the instructions of how to put him back together, which is just a Lego like pamphlet. So now, because even the guy on the toilet in the first Jurassic Park like gets, I think, spat out at the end cutscene for the first film. Like once you finish that first film in terms of story.
I vaguely remember that, yeah.
So play that, watch it, get all the enjoyment, and then let it die. Like they should let this franchise just gather dust for a bit.
Oh, exactly. I'm glad you're on that sense. Good. Yeah.
Colin Trevorrow directed this film.
Yeah, what an interesting...
People have said like perhaps we treated Rise of Skywalker too harshly, but I will say this: I think this is better than Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, but I'm
and
not saying much.
I would,
Yeah.
no, not saying much, but I will defend this above Rise of Skywalker any day. Any day, if you went to me, what would you rather watch?
Rise of
Rise of Skywalker or
It's fun and good
Jurassic
shit.
World Dominion? I'd be
Crap.
like Jurassic World Dominion all day long
Mm.
because I know what I'm getting. It's a bit too long. This
Just a
film.
little bit, yeah. Just
It's
a bit,
2 hours 35.
Yeah, something 2 hours 37. I think the 7 stuck out. So say 37.
2:37.
Yeah.
Is that including or without credits?
Probably including. So maybe it's only like 2:25 or 2, maybe just before 2.5. It's 2.5 hours.
Something like that, yeah.
And they're always about 2 hours normally, I believe.
I think you could have lost a little bit.
Yeah, lost a bit.
Streamlined it. I think you could have streamlined it majorly in terms of the fact that there's two, like you said, two different movies going on. Your last chance to spoil. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I didn't love it, and like
No.
um
No, definitely not.
like because my stepdad saw it and he was like it was like because normally he's one of them people that, not to like shit on his in terms of the films he likes, but he likes 2017's The Mummy
Okay.
and things like that. So in terms of quality
Can't
barometer,
comment.
he's a at the time of his life, he's just like a switch off. I watch it, I enjoy it. End of. I'm like, but you don't think of the implications.
Think of the implications of the
fucking,
universe.
how fucking shit
The multiverse.
this fucking story is.
Yeah. What it meant. Yeah, going forward.
But he said, I was like, I enjoyed it, but it definitely wasn't the best one, not even of like this trilogy. And I was like,
Good.
yeah, fair enough.
Amen to that.
Amen to that,
Agreed.
sister.
Agreed.
But I enjoyed it. I didn't hate it.
It was fine, but yeah.
It was slightly above average for me. I think so. I enjoyed it more seeing it in 4DX.
Oh yeah, and I think that would have been the deal breaker. With
And
me,
do you know
yeah.
what? A similar film I had that same reaction with?
What?
Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
I thought you were going to say Morbius. Oh, but what
If
would you
Mor-
rather watch, Morbius or Dominion?
Dominion. All fucking. I'd rather
You'd
watch
watch Jurassic World over Morbius.
all day.
Morbius was great.
Morbius was
Cringely great, but great.
Morbius was shit,
It was
but
shit.
funny shit. But it wasn't as funny shit as Venom, because Venom it was like they don't know what they're doing. Like, and Morbius they're like, oh, they think this is
They
serious.
do think this is the real
You
deal.
think this?
Yeah.
You think this is happening?
They're trying.
That's not even Michael Keaton in that fucking suit at the end. That's clearly a body double and a dub because he's got his helmet on and doesn't take it off. And you don't even see his face.
No, you
Don't even see his face. Yeah, Mark Wahlberg, and I'm
I'm
in
the
the.
vulture.
Yeah, I'm Tombstone.
Oh fuck.
I wouldn't say no to that.
Oh no.
Mark Wahlberg Tombstone. So, Jurassic World Dominion is a 2022 motion picture that stars Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard,
Yeah.
that girl who's the clone,
The girl. Who,
um,
Attack of the Clones.
that guy, what's his name? Justice Smith. Is it
Yeah.
Justice Smith? Who was Detective Pikachu because he did Fallen Kingdom, and when I saw him in this, I was like, oh yeah, he was in the last one for a bit.
Oh my god.
Because he's the one that screams at the Spinosaurus that runs through the lava, and then like it's like and he's quite good. And it's like, why is he not a main character? It's like, oh, because he's superfluous. We brought back Barry from the first Jurassic World, who I
Yeah.
completely forgot. It's like, oh yeah, he would have a job. Like we said, the clone girl, and not forgetting the Avengers themselves, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and for my money, the MVP of this movie
Oh, he
is
is
Jeff
Yeah,
Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. He is.
If you had to say who was not only like the most effective, but like the best in terms of what their character gets to do and does,
Jeff Goldblum, easily.
I would say Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
I think it's a toss-up between Bryce Dallas Howard and
Yeah.
Laura Dern.
I think she had some good solo scenes.
And like they said, the plan was to make like she evolved the most over this trilogy, which she does from
I
where
think
she
she
starts
does,
to where she
yeah.
ends up.
So I give her praise for in this movie.
Bryce Dallas Howard, incredible actress,
Hmm.
and incredible director. I will
So
say.
why didn't she direct this?
I don't think. Look, I don't
She
think
could've
Colin.
directed this.
I don't think Colin Trevorrow is the problem.
Oh, I don't know. I'm only judging him after Rise of Skywalker in this. He ain't got a good
But he had
resume.
nothing. But he had nothing to do with Rise of Skywalker in the end. That was JJ. JJ coming. He's publicly said like his Star Wars
His-
was completely
his
different and
scripts,
more.
yeah.
That's why the novelization got cancelled because it was from the better cancelled script, which is why they're not showing it because everyone's like, I want to see that version of the movie.
Yeah, we do.
But
the
he did
Trevorrow
say
cut.
like from the little he did learn from Rise of Skywalker was what he took into in terms of the culmination of this trilogy that obviously had classic characters returning. So you can kind of see that, and it's obviously a much smaller scale franchise compared to Star Wars, but like you get a sense of closure. But when the film finished, I was like, that didn't feel like the last one.
It didn't.
Because a lot of people were like, oh, it's definitely like Connor's, like I think you said like his sister went to see it, it's like, oh no, it's definitely the last one. It's like, yeah, it says it's the last one, but it kind of leaves it in a place of like, this is the end. But if we get bored in 20 years and we need a new franchise over at Universal, then that's what we're going to do.
Pretty much, money talks a lot these days, and it will. I can see another one of these happening easily.
And they've said that they don't expect Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard to return if something happens. Like
Good for them.
they've left it in a place like Colin Trevorrow said, like he would only ever be involved in a associate producer kind of capacity if there was another trilogy in the future. He's kind of done directing and producing them, but he would obviously, like Spielberg did, sort of like guide and shepherd like if they needed help with that kind of thing. I think it has a Star Wars problem in terms of maybe you should have just given Colin Trevorrow the whole trilogy, because
it's all three different directors.
we have a lot. We have no. It's Trevorrow does like with the sequel trilogy, the first and the last, and then.
Oh, okay. Who did the middle one? Who did Fallen Kingdom?
Google that quick for me, while I just say that it's not, like Force Awakens. We have a lot to thank for, but also because it gave us a lot in terms of the, reboot with nostalgia. Do like the first film again, but slightly different and with different entrappings, but it's essentially the same thing. But
J.A. Bayona?
J.A. Bayona, yeah.
J.A.
He was
Bayona.
done.
What has he done?
He's doing Lord of the Rings. the
first 2 episodes of Rings of Power. Oh.
Yeah. And the old Amazon.
A Monster Calls. The Impossible with Tom Holland and Ewan McGregor. Okay.
Baby Tom Holland.
And a movie called Society of the Snow, which is meant to be coming out next year.
Oh.
It's a Netflix.
I think he in Ryan Johnson in terms of directs Fallen Kingdom very well.
Right. Yeah.
In terms of the set pieces and the style, I think Colin Trevorrow does a good job here. The visual effects on dinosaurs are good. There's for me
the fight at the end was good. I like the freeway.
I like that. That was over a bit quick. And there was obviously the visual imagery of look, it's the logo. So the basic, we'll go over the basic plot, and then we'll just sort of touch on characters, actors, and some story beats. We don't want to break down the whole film in because we don't want to be sitting.
It doesn't deserve it.
The basic plot is that after Fallen Kingdom, with the eruption of the volcano on Isla Nublar, that the company Biosyn, owned by Richard Parker himself, whatever his name is.
Oh yeah, legit. I was like, it's Amazing Spider-Man Dad.
But playing like this another,
Steve Jobs CEO,
eccentric billionaire that's a dickhead.
I am Gotham. I am Gotham Island. This Jurassic Gotham.
His totally non-shady corporation have got basically a wilderness reserve in the Italian mountains, and they have and they make a point of on the journey over, they got animals from the eruption of Isla Nublar, and a lot of the Isla Sorna Site B stuff they got first, which is like that's how they tie it together. All these animals, because I thought we were going to see the Spinosaurus, but we see like 2 that look like mini Spinosauruses kind of things, and it's like I thought maybe we'd get that a bit of it. You get more pterodactyl stuff akin to Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, right. Oh, okay,
like you have Alan on a plane and there's some pterodactyls, but there's no talking raptors, so minus points.
I can't wait to see that talking raptors. Jeez.
It kind of feels all over. There's points where it feels like a Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah.
There's points where it feels like a James Bond movie in terms of the stuff in Malta.
Yeah.
And there's points where it feels like an Indiana Jones movie, and like the cave stuff, and it's like even Alan has an obsession with his hat that we've never seen.
No,
I've never seen that. I don't think he does that because I'm pretty sure he loses his hat in the first one, doesn't he?
I'm sure he does.
Because he ends up
definitely does
walking around with just like his big old hair flow. I like the subtle references, not just like there's some meta ones, but obviously like how when they talk about electronic pulses to the animal's brain to make them like move. It's like so shocking. That's quite inhumane. It's like, do you know how much voltage was in the fence at Jurassic Park? And he's obviously like, yeah, because that kid got electrocuted and they caught him. That's what he's we know that's what he's thinking. But one of my favourite ones is I think Charlotte Lockwood says can a duplicate truly be better than the original? And it's like that was kind of it's kind of like, is this trilogy can it be better than the first one? And I think some people would say but in terms of overall quality, no, because the first one
definitely not.
The first one surpasses everything.
It does.
And I think at the time the second and third got a lot of hate, but I love
3.
I love 3. I love 2.
Yeah,
I love that whole trilogy.
Fun.
I love that whole trilogy more than this one.
Yeah,
but I think this one had the potential to say a lot more, which we get into in Fallen Kingdom and in the beginning of this with the whole like shutting down illegal breeding things. Obviously, there becomes a black market for dinosaurs across the world because they get shifted and things, and they obviously then start to repopulate as they either escape or abort, and to repopulate to sell more and things like that.
Which kind of feels like a dig at the COVID thing, just because it's like a way to get more money and stuff. It's just like I looked at it from that point of view.
My favourite character was... What's his name?
Not Jeff Goldblum.
No, what's her name? Sorry.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Let me just... So you talk about... You talk about Chris Pratt for a bit.
What about him? He isn't in the movie, right? He's barely in the movie.
What do you mean? He gets bitten on the hand and everything. It's so important to the plot.
Oh, yeah, zero to no payoff. Then he went off into a portal, was in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and maybe a bit of Thor: Love and Thunder, and then he came back in like the last act of this movie.
Do you think he wasn't invested?
Oh, definitely not.
You think?
No, I don't blame the guy. I don't blame the guy because what happened on screen just didn't click with me much at all.
Really? So what's the... You're talking a bit quiet, man.
No, because I am kind of in pain. But
Oh yeah, that's
whatever.
true.
Yeah.
Do you want any
slight
tablets?
pain. Could I have a? Well, that ain't enough. Could I have a slight refill, please?
You
Yeah.
say how shit Jurassic Park was with Chris Pratt.
Well, basically, he's not even in it. Really, he's off screen a lot. There's scenes with him. And I feel like he's doing his job. He's getting a paycheck, but then he'll disappear, and I literally. It's not even a habit with me, and I'm like, oh, I forget this character's in this movie. Every time he was on screen, I literally had to sort of do a double take, think, wait, was that him? And then think, what was his last scene? Chris Pratt just, for me, wasn't in the movie enough. He was like, hang on, you're here? I know you're here. Oh, now you're there. And then when you eventually get to, like, not jumping ahead, but when you eventually get to the world and park characters unite, and we get the Avengers feeling, it's just nothing.
They never felt like they tried to do an on your left moment, which I liked.
Yeah.
I liked that they didn't go for the... But there's more of us, Paul.
Yeah, ooh, there's us again.
Yeah, he felt a bit checked out, I think,
Just,
in the beginning.
Yeah, more
I
in
think
the
once it
beginning,
once the story got going...
Right, yeah, I feel like in general the second hour was better than the first, which so far, out of all the ones I've rewatched, that's the consensus for Jurassic Park. The setup's a bit, it's a bit slow, but then once you're on the dinosaur and islands are there, it's great.
Yeah.
Well, that's my
I
consensus.
think, like I said, the old... what was it? The old 40X gave me a better experience of it.
Oh yeah,
Because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it the first time, but I think with you, you went in expecting the Avengers movie of Jurassic World movies, and obviously was let down by that.
Oh, just
And
at
then for
least a
me, I
payoff.
went in with lower expectations and kind of went, it's above average. It's okay. I
Yeah,
can
a
see its
payoff to
faults.
2 trilogies and the whole point of them crossing over just to get a bit of a, not a big fight feel, but a bit more of a, this is people's, like some older people's like more iconic movies. People grew up with this shit and absolutely loved the shit out of Jurassic Park, and hence why we've got the franchise that we got today. But it just literally part of it is just because I didn't grow up with it. It weren't one I watched all the time, so naturally I'm just not going to care. If I'm going to watch wacky sci-fi, I'm going to watch wacky sci-fi. Prehistoric dinosaurs, they're not on top of my list. It's just I don't know. It's just it didn't do a lot. Jurassic World just didn't do much for me. The payoff wasn't there whatsoever. It did just feel like a cash-in, and you are watching 2 different movies for the majority of runtime. But then when they do cross over and they meet, and you're like, Park, world, what can go wrong? They're just kind of there. They're just all like in an awkward bubble, 6 of them. It felt like they were in a COVID bubble.
You say 6 of them, but there's a lot of fucking characters by the end.
There are.
I think
there are.
what was her name?
What, Clone Girl?
No, the Wonder Wise as Kayla, I think she was great because
Yeah.
she's basically she was used to be a contract pilot for the military, and then I couldn't I had to sign up to that more shady shit. But honestly, I might be done with this line of work. She was quite fun. She was a very humanising character. She obviously is there for one of the big action pieces of Owen rides motorcycle being chased by raptors into a plane.
Yeah,
And that's fun.
that was fun.
That was fun in 40X.
I think best
All the
sequence
action
for
beats
me-
I think worked better because it felt like you were in it.
Oh,
And I think
absolutely.
that allowed me to have more fun and just enjoy it a bit more.
let things happen.
Mm.
I do feel like one bit stuck out though is when Bryce Dallas Howard has that helicopter crash. She's parachuting. The way it's shot, even though it's all green screen, but it's just you see a close up on her face as she's
That's
like,
shot
spinning
quite
around.
well. That for me reminded me of the GoPro style shot of Robert Pattinson using the flight suit in the Batman.
Yeah, right.
That kind of
absolutely.
thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Real worldy look, but you know that most of that isn't practical.
But I
behind it.
love the 5 minutes of fear though when she's literally just by herself in the jungle, and all right,
And
you do get a bit
the shot of
you
her
know,
crawling into the lake.
dumb dinosaurs, but I know it's always the case for the sound, as the first movie and the second movie point out.
Yeah.
But you literally are just staring at them, and you're doing the audience toying. You're like, "Shall I eat you? Shall I eat you?" Oh wait, where's she gone? She right? Is she right there? Oh look, there's something pretty over there. It's like, you just stare at her for like a minute.
Yeah.
You saw.
I
her
get that.
go into the
I
water.
get that. I do get that.
So it was great, but then that frustrated me and took me out a little bit. I was like,
Just kill her is
Just
what you were
you-
thinking.
because you literally are on top of her. Your pupils were on her for like a minute, and you see her going to water, but it's like, hang on, that's me. I forgot to take a selfie. Woman over there. That's just how it felt. It was just like, oh my god, let's go over there instead. Just stupid dinosaur usage in that sequence, which I thought was good.
Yeah. They make a big thing of like the Tyrannosaurus is here. Yeah, literally 5 minutes before you guys. I like Ramsey. I think he was good. I forget
which
the name
one's-
who played him.
Which one's Ramsey? Who's
The assistant to Richard Parker.
Oh, okay, yeah,
The one
yeah.
that's like, you Malcolm told you about this. It's like, no, I told him. It's like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not you. Like he basically like is the whistleblower that that then it's nice that even though we don't see it's a bit weird that then we don't see him at the end because like you see spoilers, you see that they go to then like testify in the trial against Biosyn because it's found out they're doing shady stuff because they're looking for Charlotte Lockwood because she was a clone. Maisie was a clone of Charlotte, but it turns out it's much deeper than that because we learned from Henry Wu's slideshow on his laptop.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
It's like
BD1.
even that gets called out. Like, why are you showing her incriminating stuff on a computer? Like, how do you expect her to trust us? And that basically that Charlotte cloned her, but then carried her as a normal pregnancy, but then fixed her genome to not have the same disease that she had, so in order that she could live a full life. And then you get the thing of like, yeah, I knew your mum. Okay, Laura Dern.
Yeah,
You've never,
I knew her.
you have no idea who this woman is, do you? But I think
Yeah.
that was. I think the way that what's her face who plays Maisie did the stuff as Charlotte in the videos on because she was on Isla Sorna, wasn't she? She was on Site B. So I like how sort of that stuff was done, and it gave them a distinct like difference in character. Because Maisie's whole thing is like she's not meant to go anywhere because she's a human clone. And basically, a lot of people are after her, and that's how the story starts. Is that she gets captured at the same time that Blue's baby, because she can reproduce on her own, gets captured, and that's how their similarities are. If Henry Wu can find the genome like sequence in her by studying her and Beta, then because there's a like you said the weird plague of locusts to try and globalize the world's food supply, which I liked how they use. That's a real world aspect that would be utilized in a world that has access to like Cretaceous DNA. Like they've made their own monster to essentially make themselves richer,
Yeah, exactly.
while fronting that it's all about science and not about the money. But it's like, oh, you got to just buy biosyn seed, otherwise the crops die, and then we all, that's how you monopolize the market. I'm like, that's the same as Elon Musk buying Twitter. Like it's those kind of things that's like that brings you a bit towards the real world.
Yeah, it does make it. The realistic touches are there, and I did think perhaps this is slightly deeper or trying to be.
Yes, definitely
more
trying. I don't
deeper.
whether it pulls it off or
Yeah,
not.
yeah. But then I just didn't want the dinosaur movie to be about Killer Mosquito in a field being like the main antagonist. I think that's just what took me out as well. I was more.
But it
fearful
wasn't. There kind of
the
wasn't a
weird
main
mosquito
antagonist.
things.
They kind of both stories kind of just a happenstance. It's like get Maisie and Beta back, but while they're there, Laura Dern and Sam Neill, with the help of Jeff Goldblum, have got into
are doing Doctor Who Spyfall when they're just investigating a corporate company.
yeah.
Essentially.
That happens to be bad, and then they bump into each other. And like you said, the last half an hour, they're like, you even have that weird Shaun of the Dead style thing where the versions of the characters like interact with each other. So like both Chris Pratt and Sam Neill are like, "Don't move," and
Yeah.
Laura Dern and Bryce Dallas Howard for some reason they just like kind of look at each other and just nodding, and it's like, are you trying to say that we just kind of copied the formula? But then who's Jeff Goldblum? Because you've not had a third person in this.
No, you haven't in this group. No.
Do you know what it is? It's the fucking.
He should have stared at Bluey or the other girl.
It's the Poe Dameron problem of this trio have only just become a trio in the last film.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Like Maisie comes in at the end and it's like, we're just going to keep you. But I like that whole coming of age thing about like obviously she's not going to accept him because she doesn't know who she is. Like, does she cast herself as a real person? She doesn't really have parents. Like, she knows about. But then, like, once she comes to terms with Charlotte and her mother and what she'd done, then she accepts like what Claire and Owen are doing. Trying, like, you're doing this weird thing like with the kid. Like, and you surely you must be great parents. So Just don't get in their way.
It
And
must
it's
be
like,
Great Barrier.
yes, Justice Smith, make another Detective Pikachu movie.
Do it. Yeah, I'd see that.
So that dynamic at the end, that felt a bit like, it felt earned, but like I feel like we could have had more steps towards that.
Yeah,
in terms of if we'd have maybe seen more of that towards the
trilogy.
end of Fallen King. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
have that sort of seeded through world into Fallen Kingdom and so on, because it's like the one thing I think of the trilogy is, what was the point of Ty Simkin being in the first one? Was it just an easy way of like, here's how you get two kids that are related to the main character that know what's at stake?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's my answer. Yeah, must be yes.
That's the thing. They feel superfluous. Then that's the most Force Awakensy bit of this whole trilogy, is just we need these kids to put them in. Are they in protagonist plot? Well, we're not going to see or hear from them again for the next two movies.
No.
But we'll still see Claire, who Claire always felt like she could have just ended up being a side character, and it would have been the kids that would, and then the kids just
be the next generation. Yeah.
But like we said, the evolution of the character arc that Claire goes through, in terms of what she achieves, is I think the best in the trilogy.
Payoff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Owen the weakest.
Yeah, arguably. Yeah, absolutely. Especially by this movie.
Because any development that he goes through is kind of just
made redundant,
but fast forwarded in terms of like they had broken up before and then not really been a thing, and then they kind of
now they've got to become a surrogate dad.
Broken up in Fallen Kingdom, and it's like we have to stick together. So it's kind of makes sense, but in the end, in terms of their history, it's like, is that what they would do?
There's no closure.
It felt like they kind of like went back and forth between on and off couple, and then it's just like, we kind of got to get them both in the story for the movie. Like, we can't do that if they're separate. We kind of got to put them together and have them, both embark on the start of this journey together, kind of thing.
Whether they wanted to or not. Yeah. Whether they like it or
The
not.
returning characters get good stuff to do. There's blatant recreations of shots, like the taking the sunglasses off shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just the travelling around, because she's in like Midwest Texas, and then suddenly, like, she talks but doesn't even talk about knowing a guy. Like, she like gets the locust, and then it cuts to Utah, and then she's there with the locust in a cage, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm divorced now," and it's like, "Oh, that's what they're gonna close off."
Yeah.
So, which always that felt wrong to me.
What their storyline,
their love interest storyline, because I felt like that was forced in because of like we kind of alluded to it in Park that she fancied him, but he wasn't into it and being alone, and
yeah,
and you get the payoff of that in 2 and 3, where it's like you see, like, she's married and has kids, so it's like we've addressed the kids. It's like, and how's your husband? Oh, he's gone now, so I'm living the Ellen Grant life. And I like how that moment where he's like, it's going to be lonely, but she's like, I'm so free, and it's like, that's because he's miserable really, but he loves doing what he does, but he doesn't want to be alone, and maybe regrets never giving it a go with Ellie, but
pursuing
that payoff kind of just felt a bit like and here's what we're going to do to close off the thing. This is definitely the end, because Sam Neill has said, like, for his group, like, that's kind of their last one. Like, even if it comes back in another 10 or so years time, because what was the gap, 2003 and 2015?
It was 1, wasn't it? 2001
for
Jurassic Part 3.
Yeah, so I don't see him coming back in another 14 years, because he'll be in his late 80s.
Yeah.
Not that he might not. I think he just would be like,
no,
I'm kind of done. I don't need to run around or get eaten, because all that they would do at that point would be a Han Solo and kill them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you wouldn't want that weight in the movie.
Maybe you have Kayla and stuff like that as supporting characters if you do a next one, and then you have an Owen Grady Claire payoff in the finale. I don't know.
And then maybe bring Jeff Goldblum in the third installment of that trilogy just for service.
Yeah. Have Jeff Goldblum be the Nick Fury of the Jurassic Park universe. Do you know what my favourite... Alright, let's go through favourite Jeff Goldblum lines. Look at you, and look at me, and look at you. Oh, golly.
Oh, fuck. My chest, I shouldn't laugh.
Is that... You made a promise to a dinosaur. No. Why are you skulking? Just sprint right at it. I can not be any more specific apart from saying that the button you're looking for is marked E1.
E1.
Fourth from the top, third from the bottom, whichever way you want to look at it. It's like Jeff Goldblum doing that.
Jurassic World, not a fan.
Not a fan. When he's doing the whole sneaky thing of like waiting for the noise and then just like letting them in, it's like a classic. It felt like Ian Malcolm
doing
was
his
back.
thing.
Like they all felt back, but he felt the most into it.
100%. He got the most to do out of the three.
100%.
It was just himself. He just did his thing.
Jeff Goldblum kind of just does Jeff Goldblum now, and I'm not against it because
He plays himself.
it doesn't really work in Independence Day Resurgence.
Oh right, okay. I've not seen it.
Well, because it's literally just him, and it's like this sequel matters not to me anyway because it's like this is, here's maybe Will Smith's kid. I don't know. It's kind of been a while since I've seen it, and it's like this is just shit. And let's set Bill Pullman up for another rousing speech that we're just going to basically tell him to fuck off. And but Jeff Goldblum is great in it, and Jeff Goldblum's good in a lot of it's very grandmastery in the way he conducts himself in acting roles now, and it's like I'm here for it. I'm here for the Jeff Goldblum renaissance.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the resurgence, if you will. Yeah.
The Independence Day resurgence. We'll have dominion. I like when he basically talks in real world terms of we'll do what we always do, and with the very little time we have left, we just squander it. And it's that's deep. That's deep. Jeff Goldblum. We're deep inside Jeff Goldblum's head.
But which one?
Look at you and look at me. Look at you. Golly.
It is that golly that makes it great.
And the way he does his fucking flame Jedi shit when he's like, come on. And it's just the way he's doing, fucking love it. Because I thought they were going to kill him off. I thought it was either going to eat him or step on the truck.
I'm glad
you end up with a lot of characters alive at the end. You have the original three, original trio, Owen, Claire, Maisie, Ramsey, Henry Wu, and Kayla. You got 9 people.
And none of them died.
And Henry Wu's just there at the end. Why the fuck is he? Because I got to do this thing because it's the whole reason of the plot and the whole reason we got Maisie and Beta here. And we should probably pay that off to get rid of the Locust so that this world doesn't end. It's and Henry Wu saved it and dedicated it to Charlotte, and it's and he's basically here for exposition. No offense to BD Wong, but why is he in it?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
No offense.
Yeah. Just weird movie. Just a baffling.
He's less useful than Vincent D'Onofrio was in Jurassic World.
Jurassic World.
Oh, golly. Ha. It's kind of sad that Jurassic World's the only one of this trilogy that Jeff Goldblum's not in.
Yeah, right.
Because it would have liked to. Because it's basically he's kind of stoic and a bit serious in Fallen Kingdom. It would have been nice to see him flat out just miserable and just slowly sort of Eccleston-fy himself and get back to his character and be golly, aha. So he's the way Laura does seems there's money in being a chaotician. It's that's what Ian Malcolm would do. It's I think you rat bastard. You think that I would endorse this kind of stuff. Richard Parker, I forget who plays Richard Parker /
Richard Harris, but he ain't Richard Harris. It's Richard Attenborough. It's Attenborough. It's David Attenborough's brother.
That's John Hammond. But I'm talking about Richard Parker.
Spider-Man dad. Oh shit! I don't know his name. I can't think.
He's weird, eccentric, and gets the villain death, and it's deserved. And the whole park thing.
Campbell Scott?
Is it Campbell Scott?
That's not him.
That's not him.
That is not him. Who else?
Find him.
Not Justice Smith.
Not Justice Smith. Come on.
Oh, I'll just search Amazing
Welcome to the game of Connor looks for cast member of Jurassic World. Next week, he's going to be looking for...
Was he in the first one or was he just in the second one?
He was in both because there's a deleted scene where he comes back and he's like, Peter, I'm not dead and I've got a beard and I'm at Gwen's grave and I've waited not just...
Yeah, Campbell Scott, that is him.
Not just 12 years of your life,
but that is him.
But also another 2 for your girlfriend to die for me to come back to your life.
It is Campbell Scott.
I'll definitely be in the sequel.
Jurassic World Dominion.
Campbell Scott. He's hamming it up, but I don't think he knows what movie he's in.
Nope.
A bit pantomime-y.
Yeah, very... I am a CEO, but not the one that you think. Oh, am I? So
all in all, I would rate Jurassic World, in terms of stars, because that's the way we do it, I'd say 3.5. I don't like doing halves, but for me that's where it sits.
2.5.
Slap bang in the middle for you.
Yeah, it's not even average. 3 for me is average. It's 2.5. It did nothing for me.
Slap bang in the middle.
2.5.
What were your thoughts on Jurassic World Dominion and the trilogy as a whole? Did you like it? Was it pointless? Did it have more of a story than the sequel trilogy for Star Wars?
As a trilogy, it's 2. The Star Wars sequel trilogy is like a 1.
No, as a trilogy, I would say this is a 4.
Okay.
If
Maybe
you
I
take
am
all of
missing
them.
something. Maybe I'm missing something.
I think go back and finish rewatching, like watch 3 again and enjoy that trilogy for how campy it goes, and then I think watch the World trilogy and be like, you know what, there's worse shit in here.
Yeah.
There's worse trilogies that revived a franchise. You know, it's good. In terms of out of the 3 recent films we've had that end a trilogy based on nostalgia, it sits firmly behind Spider-Man No Way Home, but firmly in front of Rise of Skywalker for me.
Right. Yeah.
It's I don't hate it. I don't outright love it. I had a lot of fun with it.
But then initially, like, although we were moaning about Rise of Skywalker when we saw it in cinema, it is on its own. It's a guilty pleasure movie, but it's made to shit. It did everything wrong. But I don't know. I put them on the same tier for now.
It shat on the fucking story.
On the whole story.
For me, slightly better. For Connor, he just hates nostalgia.
Yeah, no
And
thanks.
it's the reason that when Beat the
New
Meat
IPs.
comes out, he's going to shout "cunt" at the screen and headbutt his TV and spit at David Tennant.
Well, in the words
because
of
that's the kind of thing that Connor does, guys. He hates the past.
In the words of Taika Waititi,
Let the past die.
why make
in the
Kentucky Fried
words of
Chicken?
Kylo
Why make
Ren.
Albuquerque Wild Turkey? It got to be Kentucky Fried Chicken 2. Sequel. It's all about sequels and new IPs.
Yes.
You connect to the Wi-Fi.
Speaking of sequels and new IPs, we're going to talk about Kenobi next week. It's a totally new,
A new IP. Totally.
So if you want to get your thoughts in for Kenobi in whole, we will talk about that next week when we've both seen it, and we'll give our midway thoughts at this point on Miss Marvel, and hopefully we're still on to. I don't actually. When's the so? Episode 3 was today.
So it ends in 3 weeks.
5. No, I'm away for episode 6, so we can't live stream it.
Oh no. Oh.
You possibly could at home, but you know.
I'll be in the office then. I'll be on the office. That's right. The new reboot. I was going to keep the secret. The Office is coming back, and I'm going to be the new James Halbert. I'm going to be in the office.
Yeah, you'll be there. Oh no, yeah. So maybe like when you get home, you could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see if we can work something because I'm definitely not here. So. Shit. So She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Maybe. So
Yeah.
we'll see you next week. So get your stuff in for Kenobi / Miss Marvel so far, and also get your stuff in for the 4th anniversary, which is coming up soon.
Jesus.
But in terms of close us out, Connor. Oh, sorry. Where can they send these delightful emails to? We've not given them the address.
nerdbiblecontact@gmail.com.
Yeah, sorry, the dog's going crazy.
Yeah.
Someone's probably at the front door. And you can follow us across the week across at Pasty Sheep across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and now TikTok. Nothing posted on there yet, but just go and follow it. And until next time, Connor, close us out with some classic Jeff Goldblum lines.
Jurassic World. It's Rise of Skywalker. And Jurassic Park 3. Not a fan. But Moon Knight I love.